All right, kiddos, we are back. We got a new trailer here for Fire Emblem Heroes. I think this one is the ninja banner. So, dude, I don't know why Twitter always does this. If I try to turn the volume off and then I click play on the video, it just turns the volume back on. Like, why? I've got my own music playing, man. Don't throw me off. Okay, so ready, set, go. Let's see here. Ninjas. Okay, so we're starting things off with a ninja female Shez. Okay. Artwork looks interesting. I mean, she looking kind of thick and juicy there, which is okay by me. So, Shez is going to be a infantry blue dagger. Yoshio is the artist. Okay. Alright, very interesting choice here. Starting us off. So, stat line right there, we got 40 HP, 55 attack, 49 speed, 38 defense, and 25 res. That low attack stat is a dead giveaway. She's got brave attacking. I mean, all the ninjas typically have brave attacking, but it could not possibly be more obvious over here. So, covert duality, 9 might, 2 range, -1 special trigger, brave attacking, only on your phase though, player phase only. At start of turn and after unit acts, if Kanto triggers, then after Kanto, inflicts speed and defense -7, sabotage and exposure on the closest foes, and any foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next actions. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of foes in 3 rows or 3 columns, centered on unit times 3 plus 5 with a max of 14. Neutralize foes' bonuses. Unit deals plus X times 5 damage. And reduce damage from foes' attacks by X times 3, where X is the number of bonus effects active on unit and penalty effects active on the foe. And then we have Dagger 7 there. Alright, very bare bones weapon, honestly. Okay, we have Comet making its second appearance there. If you didn't pick it up already on Duo Freya, here it is again. Okay, so I'm expecting this is where all the sauce is going to be for this Shez. So, Rapid Slice at the start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants the Pierce DR by half effect, and Hexblade to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 9, reduce damage from foes' attacks by 40%, reduce damage from foes' attacks by an additional 7, and neutralize effects that guarantee foes' follow-ups and prevent units' follow-ups. And then if unit initiates combat against a non-dragon or non-beast infantry foe, and unit speed is better than the foe's speed plus 20, then you get effective against all weapon types during combat. Otherwise, if your speed is greater than or equal to the enemy's speed plus 5, then you get effective against all weapon types during combat then. So, yeah, very similar to all the Shezes. We have effective damage, we got brave attacking, we've got reduction of DR, Hexblade now, bunch of stats, a little bit of DR there. Still kind of bare bones. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, she still doesn't really impress me yet. Okay, then we have full disarm and lookout smog. So, enables Kanto 2 when Kanto triggers. Enables unit to use distance swap on ally. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and speed of 4. Reduce damage from foe's first attack by 7. And if unit initiates combat and foe's attack can trigger foe's special, inflicts special cooldown count +1 on the foe before the foe's first attack. Yeah, so, I mean, it's that same smog skill that was on the legendary male Shez. Remember that one? The skill that had... It's basically just Scowl for dagger types. A very weird choice for a skill, but now we're packing it in with Kanto 2 and Distance Swap, which is very good. Alright, so there she just made mincemeat out of fallen Aleer. Okay. Oh, okay, Ninja Yunaka up next. That outfit is really weird looking. Okay, so she's got exposed thighs, but then covered shins. Like, what? That is the strangest outfit design I think I've seen yet. Now, we know she has the exposed, like, I guess, waistline. Where she always wears this outfit that, like, exposes her waist, but then covers the midriff. I mean, that, like, you see that. That's kind of common. Well, maybe it's not common, but, like, that's something you see, actually. I don't know about this part, though. That's just... whoever was the seamstress for this outfit needs to be fired. Okay, so Yunaka is going to be a red bow infantry type. Okay. So, stats here, we got 40 HP, 55 attack, 49 speed, I'm guessing plus 6 from somewhere, 31 defense, and then 32 res. She's got a lot of warping there, similar to the aided Yunaka. Bow of Stealth, 8 might, 2 range, effective against flying, -1 special trigger. Brave attack on enemy and player phase. At start of turn and after unit acts, if Kanto triggers after Kanto, inflicts Discord, Speed Shackle, and Defense Shackle on the closest foe and foes in 2 spaces of them through the next actions. If unit initiates combat or unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of foes in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit times 3, plus 5 with a max of 14. Deals plus X times 5 damage. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by X times 3. X is the number of bonuses on unit and penalties on the foe. And neutralize effects that grant, well, essentially tempo there. Alright, then we have Arc Rival once again. They're really bringing out all the good specials here for this one. Ninja Zap. Okay, so Zappy. Unit can move through foe spaces. So oh, wow. Okay, pass built in. Grants weapon triangle advantage against colorless foes and inflicts weapon triangle disadvantage on colorless foes. That's interesting. I mean, that's interesting because she also has Arc Rival, right? At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants special clown charge +1 per attack, and dodge to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn. If any space within 2 spaces of the unit meets any of the following conditions, unit can move to that space or any space within 2 spaces of that space. There's an ally, there's a divine vein, there's a defensive terrain, or a difficult terrain, including impassable terrain. So, yeah, that's very similar to the aided Yunaka, right? Where she can just warp all over the place. And with pass as well. And then also, if unit initiates combat or unit's HP is over 25% at the start of combat, grants all stats of 9 to unit. Unit deals plus X damage. If there is a space in 2 spaces of the unit that meet any of the above conditions, X is 15. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. So on top of her weapon giving her like 25 points of true damage, here's even more. Now we're getting 15 points there. That's on a brave attack weapon, that's a lot. Reduce damage from foes' attacks by X, and then reduce the percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. Okay, Yunaka may be cooking a little bit. Alright, then we got speed and defense lull finish, and then odd speed wave 4. Alright, so there's the attack against... Oh, Brave Ectordeer. Yeah, we're busting out the attacks on an actual meta unit here. And I think Shez took out the Fallen Female Aleer, right? So we're just watching a bunch of armor busters. I love how she just zips all over the place in her attack, too. Oh! What? Now there's someone you don't see all the time. Okay, so we got Ice Ike over here. Axe cavalry type, and what is he doing here anyway? Hrid, why are you on this banner? Not really looking very ninja-like, but I guess more like a samurai there. He's a little bit more armored up. Okay. All right. Oh, he's the demote too, by the way. Wait, actually, is he the demote? I see Ignis, and I see... Oh, finally we have the sturdy ground, or whatever that one was called again. Solid ground. We're finally getting the crystalline water version of that. So 40 HP, 68 attack, getting +6 to speed, I would imagine. Yeah, this Yulger has speed tactic, right? So 30 speed, 57 defense, 19 res. Holy stat line there. What is going on with those stats? So Glacial Great Axe, 11 might, 1 range, -1 special trigger. Brave attacking, even on the enemy phase. For foes in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit, inflicts all stats -5, neutralize their bonuses, and reduce their non-special DR by half. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of foes in 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit ×3 with a max of 9. Unit deals plus X times 5 damage, reduce damage from foes' attacks by X times 3. And X is the number of bonuses active on unit and penalties active on the foe. Foe can't make a follow-up and recovers 7 HP when dealing damage to the foe. We got Ignis and then Shatterproof, which is crystalline water that does attack and defense as opposed to attack and res. Glacial Seal, so he's got a unique B skill. Enables Kanto Rem +1 with a -2. At start of player phase or enemy phase, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack and defense -7. Frozen and defense shackle on the closest foe and foes in 2 spaces of that foe through the next action. At start of enemy phase, except in Pawns of Loki, if unit's HP is over 25% at the start of turn, or after start of turn, healing and damage effects are applied, and there is no Divine Vein Ice currently applied by unit or allies, applies Divine Vein Ice to spaces 2 spaces away from the nearest foe with the lowest defense for 1 turn. Huh. That's interesting. So you target an enemy, and then you basically trap them in ice. Interesting concept there for an ability. I kind of like that. Nice design choice. Okay, and then also at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, inflicts attack speed and defense -5 on the foe. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up, deals damage equal to 20% of defense, and reduce damage from foes' attacks by 20% of defense. If this guy is a demote, he's actually, like, pretty damn good, right? Like, that's a fire demote, if he is one. Yeah, encases the foes in ice. I want to see them do that on the map. Hopefully they preview that. Alright, he's up against attuned Erica there. Alright, not quite as meta as Brave Ectordeer or Fallen Female Leer. Yeah, so that's the target, and then he just gets boxed in by ice. That's a really interesting idea. Instead of, like, encasing your... Because most of the units that set up ice do it nearby to your allies, instead of doing it nearby to the enemy. Now, it's more likely the enemy is going to have allies close by to their own allies, right? So, like, they might have a unit over there, in which case ice would not be applied to that spot. Or, like, if they have a unit over there or whatever. So, it could backfire on you, setting up ice in that manner, but it could also be really good, too. So, yeah, very interesting way to do ice. Oh, them again? Didn't we already get this? I swear to God, we had Summer Gullveig already. Well, I guess this is Kvassar this time instead of, who was it last time? Bubble Girl? I can't remember. One of them. I don't remember. Yeah, but we've already had Summer Gullveig, and she's the lead again. Why couldn't it be Kvassar as the lead? So, Colorless Tome Cavalry type. Artwork is pretty good. So, alright, she's getting debuffed a lot there. Kind of hard to say exactly, like, where all the debuffs are coming from. So, 42 HP. Maybe we'll catch a glimpse of her again after she fights and we'll see clean stats. 43, that's very low attack there. Even if she has a brave weapon, that's still pretty low. 43 speed, 23 defense, 4 res. Okay. Alright, Bullying Lay Radar. Scrolls of Time, 9 might, 2 range, -1 special trigger. Brave attack only on the player phase. If unit entered combat on the current turn, unit can move through foe's space. Wait, what? She gets pass after she attacks? Okay. At start of turn, grants Times Gate, Preempt Pulse, and Anathema to unit and allies into space of the unit for 1 turn. Yes, I know I'm saying it wrong, by the way. There's been like 50 comments about that. I really don't care. I'm going to keep saying it the way I say it. Like, get used to it. If unit initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants a bonus to all stats equal to the number of allies on the map with the Times Gate effect active, including unit times 3 plus 5 with a max of 14. Unit deals plus X times 5 damage and reduce damage from foes' attacks by X times 3. Alright, excluding on AoEs, X's number of bonuses on unit and penalties on the foe with a max of 5. If unit initiates combat, grants another action to unit after combat and inflicts gravity on unit and pair up cohort through the next action. Kind of annoying there. I'm surprised they're still doing that to her. Not that it's a big deal. You would just give her Celica Ring and then she gets pass after the first round of combat. So it doesn't really matter that much. But it's still kind of a shame. Because what if you're not giving her the Celica Ring, right? Like, what if you have it on somebody else? Then it can be a little bit annoying. Alright, Future and Past. New special here. 4 hits. Boost damage by 80% of speed when special triggers. Neutralize effects that inflict guard on unit. If unit initiates combat, reduce damage from foes' attacks by X%. Okay, excluding on AoEs, X is 40 plus the number of allies on the map with Times Gate active, including unit times 5 with a max of 60. Interesting. Okay, also, if unit initiates combat after combat, if unit special triggered and unit survives, grants another action to unit and inflicts gravity on unit and pair up cohort. So she gets a bonus action on her weapon. She gets one on the special. Does she have a unique passive that gives her another bonus action also? Alright, doesn't look like it. That would have been crazy, because then she would have a duo button with presumably an extra action there also. Alright, just actions on actions on actions. So Sly Swift Sparrow. Conjuring Breath looks like an upgrade to Occult Strike. If unit initiates combat, deals 7 damage to foe as combat begins. Effects that reduce damage during combat do not apply. Will not reduce foe's HP below 1. And foe can't recover HP during or after combat. Oh. Wait, is this going to have, like, built-in anti-miracle, too? If unit initiates combat, inflicts speed and res -4 on the foe, deals damage equal to 20% of the greater of foe's speed or res. Reduce damage from foe's first attack by 7. And grant special cooldown charge +1 to unit per attack. Okay, I was thinking this was going to be like Fatal Smoke combined with Occult Strike for a second there when I saw the prevention of enemy recovery, but nah. I mean, the real selling point of Fatal Smoke is the anti-miracle, more so than the recovery part. Alright, then we also have Attack and Speed Assault Hone there. So, at the start of turn, if units in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and speed up 6. Reduce percentage of foes' non-special DR by half to unit and allies in 2 spaces for 1 turn. And then grants a bonus to attack and speed equal to the number of allies on the map with cut DR in half. Yeah, +2 with a max of 5. Yeah, we've seen one of these already on a different unit, I believe. Takes up to 4 actions with the duo skill, and then they just give Times Gate at the start of the turn, right? To allies in 2 spaces. Alright, nice attack animation there. With the snake head. Yeah, so Times Gate lets allies warp to allies that are within 4 spaces, right? Alright, here are the unmitigated stats now, but she's getting a lot of buffs as well. Attack and speed up 6 from her C skill, and then res from somebody, somewhere. Yeah, so 49 speed, and then 56 attack, 30 defense, and then maybe +6 to res, so 17 res. Alright, now we're just gonna warp all over the place. Gullveig really doesn't resemble a ninja in any way. I mean, she's got those scrolls on her back, but I don't know. She doesn't really seem like she fits the theme that well. All right, here we are against Duo Julia, who's not a bad magic tank, so I guess this is a nice showcase here. She's certainly not as tanky as Duo Freya, though. Okay, so the button should be extra action. Grants another action and recover 40 HP to unit. Okay, it's just slightly better than the previous. Yeah, because all the ninja heroes always get the exact same duo button. Now they're buffing it slightly, giving her a full heal. Yeah, very, very minor buff there, but it could come in handy. Okay, so... yeah, is Hrid actually the demo? I guess that's the thing I'm most interested to see. And then male Shez is going to be our demo character. Surprise, surprise, the male is the demo, right? I didn't see that coming in a million years. Yeah, so Hrid is the 4-star. Wow, he's a really good 4-star. May not be a bad idea to snag a copy of him, considering he has enemy ice trapping. Other than that, like, should you summon on the banner? I wasn't particularly impressed by Shez. I feel like Yunaka looks pretty good. And then Gullveig is probably pretty good. Is she doing enough damage, though? Like, I'm kind of worried she might not be doing enough damage. She does have a lot of actions, though. The Times Gate is nice. And then she gets anti-warping. She gets pass, or anti-warp prevention, because she gets pass after her first round of combat. But I kind of want pass on my first round of combat, like Baby Camilla does. So, yeah, I don't know if she's even all that much better than, like, previous Gullveig units. Obviously, she's better because she's more recent, got a more recent weapon, but functionally wise, I don't really see it. Yeah, so definitely takeaways here, Yunaka and Hrid, most likely. Let me know what you guys think about this banner in the comments section down below as well. And, yeah, I mean, this guy is keeping up the theme of pretty good seasonal demotes, right? Yeah, that's a really good preference skill for a demo character. Okay, so yeah, I will catch you guys again tomorrow when we get the data mines. Take care, fellas, and that's all for now.